we've done a lot at this school in the last 20 years. The last few years, we've really excelled. 7 years ago, we started a project with TVA on solar power. We had 7.4 kilowatts of solar energy that we installed the solar panels. We built the framework, and my class installed it, built the framework. My students, high school students, done all of this. Then we installed, about 3 years later, we installed a 1 kilowatt windmill on a 105-foot tower. We done this with a gen pole assembly. Again, everything was done with high school students, and no one ever left the ground. Then, about 18 months ago, I was approached by a gentleman from Harris Industries. He said he had a grant, or was wanting to give a grant. He had $26,000, and he had talked to 3 different schools about it. None of them could come up with anything that was acceptable to him. And he said, I have to have the plan in progress in 24 hours. My director got a substitute for me. I sat down, we put together a format. I called Mr. Rick Carson, a gentleman, a friend of mine I work with at TVA quite a bit. We hashed some things out, and we put the project together, and we were awarded that grant. Now we have a solar flare of 1.4 kilowatts, and it's in the shape of a poinsettia, and very, very nice and very pleasing to the eye of anyone that passes. We have a 3 kilowatt Kestrel wind turbine, and it's 118, sitting on a 118-foot tower. And again, all these projects were done with nothing but high school personnel putting everything together. We had a lot of our utilities come in and do preparation work for us. Plateau Utility, they drilled holes for us to set our anchors in. The solid waste department even come down because it got real wet on us there for last school, and we had to pour concrete. Solid waste manager, he brought a backhoe down, and they dumped concrete into the backhoe, and he hauled the concrete out there and dumped it for us, which made everything feasible on pouring concrete on a hillside in the wet. The Plateau Utility come back, and when we finished, they came back and used one of their lift trucks to pick up the solar flare. It weighed about 1,200 pounds, but they picked it up and put it on top of the pedestal. It's sitting on a 20-foot tower. I don't allow none of my students off the ground, so I went up the scaffold and attached that to the pedestal, which took approximately 5 minutes. But none of our students were ever put at risk, but they were put at risk of learning. They have learned a lot of hands-on, major education of what workforce really is, and now they also understand the physics and trajectories of setting towers, and what can be done with a little bit of planning and a little bit of thinking. My first period class is called Construction Core. It's basically for freshmen and sophomores, and the first thing we teach them in there is when you're going to build anything, you have to have a plan. And it pertains to this project as well. We had to have a plan. I even had that first period class involved with helping draw part of it out in the drafting part of that class. They had to be able to figure what the cost would be, and we by using the internet, by using phones, we made several contacts to get cost of materials, and we actually shopped, and that's how we broke down the concept of what would be the cheapest way and the safest way and effective way to fabricate this material. After we put this tower up, we've come up with some changes by, instead of using round flanges, we're going to use square flanges, because we can buy a flat bar in a certain width and just shear it, and we don't have to spend the time and the money and doing the extra machining and cutting on the outside. That reduced cost, and we've reduced the tower cost about $300 per tower, and we found a few more things now we think will take it down about 80 more. That makes quite a difference. Well, we buy everything through the hardware store up here. We bought all of the bolts, the cables, everything we could buy, we buy locally. The steel, we buy it through 2 or 3 suppliers out of that supplies this area of steel. one out of Chattanooga, one out of Morristown, one out in Knoxville. This is some of the flanges that he was talking about he made down there. They were here. We cut the plates out on the iron worker over there, and then he trues them up. Centers the hole instead of us having to drill them. He does it with a CNC. It helps speed the whole process up and makes everything very uniform. Then you don't have, when you start up with one, you don't have to worry about having a problem with them not being aligned. This sleeve is something we designed to make them stay together. When you put them together, once you stand them up, you can throw every bolt away and it's still there. It ain't going nowhere. This is where the guide cable hooks. Guide supports hook there. This one's going to be 138 feet tall. There's going to be a 205 foot. They go one to York Institute, one to Scott High.
My concern is many people, even wind companies, install turbines on small towers because it's less expensive, and they can make a sale if they do that. And more recently, we've talked about avoiding vertical axis wind turbines, which is another discussion. Ronnie and I discussed the tower design, and what led us to the guide tower design is the cost. A monopole tower probably would cost maybe 3 to 4 times as much, whereas a guide tower maybe should be more affordable. And with the guide tower, you can go to 105 feet, 120 feet, or even 80 feet. One problem in the state of Tennessee is no one supplies towers or knows how to install them. So through this program, we're demonstrating how one can use a guide tower. The Morgan County Vocational School is giving classes on instructing people how to install towers. And he's also working with one of the small wind turbine companies in providing an option for their small wind turbine, Kestrel. And they're marketed through DC Power Systems in California.
My name is David Gao. I'm an assistant professor at Tennessee Tech University. Tennessee Tech will be leading the efforts on wind monitoring, data collection and analysis. And also we will provide some technical support for this project. For example, we can collect meteorological information from each wind turbine to be installed in Morgan County, Scott County, and York Institute. We will help collect wind data and correlate against generation. We also will collect and analyze generation data of the PV solar systems. And for example, we can calculate the available power in the wind and then compare with the wind power generation data, and we can see the efficiency.
We've accomplished quite a bit, and still a lot to be done, but these kids are really seeing what clean and green means, and it really gives them something to talk about.